A small update today for Ehang. We got an interesting interview with the CEO who revealed a few new things which are in development for us. And we have a new major development you shouldn't miss. But first of all, welcome to High School Dropout's advice. If you need subtitles, click on the subtitle button right here. Through Patreon, you can get into our Discord community, where you can get directly in touch with me and other subscribers. We had about 2.5% of gains today, and it looks like the big shock about the delay in the audit is digested. We had an interview with the CEO of Ehang, Hua Huaji, where we talk about the 100-lane air traffic plan for southern China and the region to become the Uber of the air. According to Ehang, the 100-lane plan will be launched within 24 months, and the area will focus on the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, and the Greater Bay Area in China. If we read between the lines, we know that Hong Kong to Macau is a distance of more than 20 miles. We can see that the area covered would be beyond the current range of the EH216. So this means that they expect to use the VT30 within 24 months, which is good news because you remember that I compared the VT30 with Tesla Model X, which took 3 years to launch. Let me recap some information here. You might know that the Civil Aviation Administration of China is reviewing the piloted version of the EH216, which is called EH216M. But from the CEO, we hear that the certification process of the EH216 was also officially started. In the yellow box, you read that they conservatively estimate that the review may be completed within 1 year. The chief engineer of the Civil Aviation Administration of China, Yin Shiyun, went deep into the Research and Development Center, Command and Dispatch, Test Base and Production of Ehang. Let me read this part for you because this is something I want all my viewers to understand. Unmanned aviation is an organic part of intelligent civil aviation construction, will become the main form of transportation in the future. We must work together to promote the development of unmanned aircraft and promote the high quality development of civil aviation construction. Both applicants and the Bureau must have innovative thinking, innovative verification methods, and establish standards against international standards. This shows how eager the CAAC wants Ehang to succeed. But this is not the only mentality in the CAAC department, but also many governors in China have a strong scientific background and have a very keen interest to innovate their cities. In the bottom green box, we can read again. The launch of the VT30 for the long-range flights should be in the near future. But the 100-lane traffic plan route should be opened within 1 year. I'm not sure if things got lost in translation because I'm using Google Translate, but we can see from this source and the source earlier that the 100-lane plan will be launched between 1 to 2 years, and the VT30 most likely coming into commercial use within 24 months. In this part, the reporter is pointing out what many YouTubers and I are pointing out since long time, that Ehang is only evaluated a fraction of Archer and Joby Aviation, which are sitting at 3.8 billion and 6.6 billion market cap evaluation, while Ehang sits at the time of recording at 1.28 billion market cap. CEO Hua Huaji also said that Ehang's autonomous system is significantly underestimated from the outside world and lacks the awareness of Ehang's autonomous flying capability. He also says the industry is still relatively early and it will take some time to develop. We are also affected by the overall environment of China and the United States influence. I think what he means is that the Chinese and American political tension. The more interesting part is this. In yellow, you can read that Ehang wants to transform from a company that makes aircraft to an operating aircraft fee business model, which means that the revenue scale of Ehang may narrow in the short term. The operation of the company will face financial pressure, but the company's vision will be bigger. You see in green that the CEO wants to become Uber and Didi, who have both invested a lot of money in their app and technology. Let me explain this part. We know by now that Ehang wants to actively play a role in building infrastructure, managing and maintaining all the flights of the drones by itself. This means they are not just a company building drones, but also a company which builds airports, connect the flights with other cities, control the flights in their command center, and maintain the passenger drones. At the moment, I have a speculation that Ehang would be okay to sell the drones for a very low profit, as we have talked about in my last video, which I will link up here and in the description below. They would sell the drone for 78,000, but would make money from managing the infrastructure the drones are flying in. Let me repeat this with other words so you understand this vision. The government, companies and businesses will buy Ehang passenger drones to improve their infrastructure, and Ehang sells the drones for nearly no profit, but makes a profit by operating the infrastructure. When I think in this way, Ehang is solving a problem every drone manufacturer has at the moment. Every passenger drone maker needs a partner to manage the drones and requires a system to track the drones, supervise and control them. Because of this difficulty, many companies are not looking for autonomous solutions and have their passenger drones piloted. I have said in my NIO video that NIO would make one day more money with their battery swap technology and charging stations when the EV car sales is saturated. This is the same situation in the passenger drone industry. If you want to think for the very long term, let's say 50 years in the future, you can agree that everyone got their personal drone. The drone will become the new car, but you will not upgrade and update your car as often, but you will use it every day, which means you will pay for the company which manage the autonomous infrastructure, which will be Ehang. When I hear more of the CEO talking about his vision, I get a clearer picture of what he actually wants. It's not so easy for us to see Ehang in that way, because most of us are only thinking that they are building the passenger drones. We might have missed out on a huge part of Ehang, or at least we didn't understand the magnitude and the importance of the main vision of the CEO. Let me remind you more of his background. 1992 to 1997, he majored in computer science. The company he founded in 2005 is Beijing Ehang Shuangxi Technology, a leader in providing large-scale command and control systems. He was the CTO and he was in charge of the development of the Emergency Command and Control Center between 2008 and 2010. So, his background is and was never in manufacturing passenger drones, but more in managing the infrastructure of it. So, what the world thinks of Ehang is the wrong picture. So, he is very right when he said the world is not aware of Ehang and underestimates it. He also says, "For us, there are not many competitors in the entire market. We are faced with a blue ocean. We must do a good job in this blue ocean, with good rules and safety, and the entire company's revenue scale will be very large." You might understand now why he is so obsessed with being autonomous and being safe. He lost 2 close friends on aircraft flights. This is why he wants to create the safest autonomous system possible. It's also interesting to see that someone who is actually very humble saying that there are not many competitors, and we can see his confidence is shining through. His estimation for the market to be aware of Ehang and passenger drones will be in 2 years. This is also when he expects a strong outbreak period. His focus now is on commercializing after having reached the stage of production and autonomous flying. In case you don't know, there was an European asset management company called Carmignac which invested 40 million in Ehang with a share price of $60. Now let us get into another very gigantic development. We have the news that Guangzhou Yiqiao Technology Company has won an auction of 7,162 square meters of land. The relationship between Yiqiao Technology and Ehang is that Ehang owns 30% of Yiqiao Technology. The requirement was that the bidder must be engaged in the technology, research and development and product sales of autopilot aircraft. So Ehang would be the perfect candidate. The transaction was for 217 million RMB, which is around 30 million US dollar. For a reason we don't know, and it's my speculation that Ehang is using Yiqiao Technology to buy this piece of land for Ehang because Ehang does not have that amount of cash, or they cannot get a loan from the bank, and maybe if they can, maybe it's taking too long for them. Anyway, I don't know the reason why Ehang uses Yiqiao Technology to buy it for them. You see the piece of land. Let me zoom out and you can see Ehang is very close. You can see the Ehang landing port in blue. So I don't quite understand this connection between Ehang and Yiqiao Technology because Yiqiao Technology is a host company. Let me show you their website. You see, they are selling and manufacturing hoses and other industrial materials. Ehang might use their product. Maybe Yiqiao Technology is co-signing, or another reason because they would not qualify as research and development department for spacecraft in the first place. So if you have more information, let me know in the comments below. Please also let me know if you think if I'm right about the vision Ehang has, and if you think it's wise to become the manager and developer of the infrastructure than being the drone maker. For legal reasons, let me tell you that I'm not a financial advisor, CPA or realtor, so always consult with an expert before making a decision. Remember that your money is your responsibility, and always do your own due diligence. Thank you so much, and hopefully see you in the next video. Thank you, bye.